We're back with another exciting episode of Start Sit Start, whatever
start,
we call it.
Sit Start Fantasy Football.
Yes.
How did we do last week?
Well, you had a few picks. So for your sits, you said all the Bills, Packers, and wide receivers.
Bills, Packers, wide receivers. Yeah, okay, so that was right. I think we figured out a couple things. Number one, the Packers are still a mess. You couldn't see a clear target there. Golden did nothing. Jaden Reed didn't even look that great. He just got some volume. Tucker Kraft looks good. You can play him, but he's a tight end. The Bills, I think Keon Coleman's the guy. I think he looked really good. He made a smart heads-up play on that fumbling ball in the end zone. 2 touchdowns. I don't know how you don't say, all right, run him next week. He's going to be one of my starts for this week. So that one, I'm going to give myself, okay, check mark for that one.
Okay. Tyreek Hill.
Check mark for that one. I mean, partly it's Hill. And I was making a bunch of jokes about his 6,000 kids, but partly is that Miami offense is just a disaster.
It's kind of hard to watch.
And I believe that you can actually find the quote in the last room, like, I'm staying away from the Miami offense entirely. And even if I had Achane, I'd be feeling like, maybe I could trade this guy. Maybe I could trade him for anything.
Get some value
just something. I'll trade him for a kicker, just get some value there. So check mark for Tyreek. What else we got?
David Montgomery.
I was smart on that one too. Gibbs looks like he has the Alvin Kamara role now. Fully in control of the backfield. Montgomery put up a pathetic effort. The Lions look terrible as well, frankly. Losing your offensive coordinator will do that to you, but it doesn't make Gibbs any less talented, and I feel like they're going to lean on him. So I'm check marking there. Montgomery had like 4 points and some disastrous effort. And what else did I say?
We had the Texans and Washington backfield.
Okay, so Texans, total disaster. You can't really see who's going to be running the ball there, and you can't feel good about any of it just yet. The Washington backfield.
Bill had a good showing.
Here's the thing. It's ridiculous that there's this much hype around him, except he actually looked that good in preseason.
Good.
And then they used him as the RB1 ahead of Chris Rodriguez, ahead of Eckler, and he actually looked that good. So don't be surprised to see him on my starts for this week because I'm being forced into it here. I think you're right not to do it week 1. Because you can't predict that. I think it's sensible at this point to say, well, that was a pretty good showing. You could try it if you need to.
Depending on what other options you have, right? Yeah. Like for me, my running backs are a little, so I might choose to run them this
I'm going to say check mark there too. I don't think any of those were disastrously bad suggestions. What else?
Starts.
Okay.
George Pickens was our first recommendation last week.
I don't dislike what happened. If you actually watched that game, and of course being the one game on, you would have been able to focus on the whole game. Pickens got targets. Pickens had like a 35-40-yard PI there that could have been absolutely a touchdown.
That would have been a game changer.
And then later on, there was like a shoestring tackle that stopped him from having some massive event as well. Pickens could have easily gone off for 15 points, and the usage and utility he got in that passing offense, I think Dak needs to warm up and get past week 1. But I don't think it was a bad start. I think it was a rough result. I think 4.5 points or something. But I started him, watched him play, and said, I'd start him again. If they're going to use him like this, he's going to create offense. He's going to make things happen.
Well, you have him on one of your teams.
I do. I have him on the Dynasty team. Yeah, and I'm happy to have him there. And I'm probably starting him again this week. I don't see... It's not like he didn't get targeted. It's not like he was ignored. It's not like he was crashing out. He was just doing good football things. It just didn't happen to go his way.
Yeah.
But I like the usage, and the usage is what drives these sort of recommendations. It's not, he scored a touchdown, so run him. It's like, no, is he part of the offense in a meaningful way? If so, you'll get a result over time.
We had Cortland Sutton and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Both guys got a touchdown. Both guys looked absolutely solid. It's one of those situations where you could have a guy like Ja'Marr Chase in a rough situation against a tough Browns defense. He gets 4 points. Then you have guys that are not as talented as Ja'Marr Chase, MHJ, Cortland Sutton, and due to the situation, the defense they're playing against, the circumstance, the target share, they can go off.
They get those opportunities.
I called them both. Sure. We got touchdowns on both of them.
Yeah, they did great.
Feeling pretty smart here so far.
Ricky Pearsall.
Okay, so Ricky Pearsall is going to be another one of the start him again this week's. He was okay. I think he had like 8 points or something. He got some targets. The main thing is Kittle died, right? George Kittle had a smashed up hamstring. He had 2 of those injuries last year. Recovers from that, starts the season right into the leg again. He's out 5 weeks. He's on one of my teams for the redraft league. He's now on IR. Pearsall only going to get more targets. Ayuk's toast. Jennings is toast. It's literally going to... I don't even trust this new Tongan guy that's like the backup tight end. I don't see how he steps into Kittle's position and is expected to do the same thing. I think they're leaning on CMC. I think they're stretching the field with Pearsall. And even if Purdy's out, I think it's Jimmy G throwing the ball there in the Niners. Is it Jimmy G?
I don't know.
Who's the backup? No, it's probably... No, fuck. Who is it? Doesn't matter. I still want that scenario there because the Niners are coached properly and they have a winning culture there. I don't see why Pearsall will be a bad play. He's not your wide receiver 1. But in a flex spot, you shouldn't feel bad about starting him. His situation seems to only be getting better.
Okay. Then we had Bucky Irving and Ted McMillan.
Okay, so Bucky got great usage and utility, complete control of the backfield. I think he outsnapped, what's his face there, Rashad White, like 90-1 or some nonsense. And he got a touchdown. So I said start Bucky.
Yeah, I think he came in with about 12 points or something
14.5.
Was it? Okay.
No, it could have been high.
I'll link them all anyway here. But,
I might be mixing someone up. But
because I feel like Bill outperformed him.
Yeah. But Bucky still had all the utility you want. And like week 1, Tampa Bay's offense is still warming up.
Week 1's always like a little bit So, I mean, comes with a grain of salt.
Ted McMillan, here's a great spot. If you're a Ted McMillan owner like I am in both my teams, here's what you saw. Bryce Young looked messy. He looked like year 1 Bryce Young, not the last 4 to 6 weeks of last year. But there is absolutely nobody else in the team to throw the ball to. Like, they don't use the tight end. They don't use Leggett. It's just Ted. So on sheer volume, he got like 11 points of like grimy looking yards. And the minute that Bryce Young finds his rhythm again, this is going to be like a touchdown a week, ridiculous top 10 wide receiver. Ted's just fantastic. The situation there is so good. It's like when Jameis Winston was chucking the ball to Jerry Jeudy last year. You know he's going to air it out. There's no one else to throw it to but Jeudy. Yeah. Jeudy started looking like a 1,200 yard receiver by the end of the year purely because of nonsense. Ted's in the same sort of boat. I don't think the Carolina Panthers are going to win 15 games. I do think Ted's going to be a touchdown a week guy. It's him and Chuba. So as long as you have some piece of that offense, you're going to get something out of it. Chuba.
Oh, on one of your teams.
Yeah, you just took him on the other. So overall, you guys should be tuning in.
I feel like you did okay.
I feel like I basically batted like 850 here.
That was a lot. So let's get into the sit starts. Some of it might overlap.
Some of it's going to sit start. So on the start side, we're going to go with Keon. Load up Keon Coleman, fire him out of a cannon. If Josh Allen is going to do 40 points a week, Keon's going to get a piece of that offense, and they didn't really use their other receivers that much. I did say, you can find the clip for it in the last week, you feel good starting up Kincaid, and I think he caught one for a touchdown. He looked like he was being well used in that offense. But yeah, fire up Coleman. Zach Charbonnet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I drafted Charbonnet in both my teams, firmly believing he's the more talented running back, and when K3 missed time last year, Charbonnet looked like he was locked in and doing the right things and the right stuff. And after one game, it's clearly evident to everyone, including the sports media, if you look it up, Charbonnet looks like he's taking control of this backfield almost immediately. He looked more competent, his stats were simply better, and he's more involved in the passing game in a functional way. This is going to be Charbonnet's backfield in an offense that likes to run the ball. If you have him, you're laughing. It's fired up this week. If you need him in the flex, you're going to want to fire him up by the end of this month. I think he's just going to have full control of the backfield. Jordan Mason. Exact same boat. This is a guy that's younger, more talented, and has a higher upside than the current incumbent. After game 1, he got the majority of the carries. He got all the goal line touches and relevant touches. They gave Jones some passing down work, but Mason could just as easily do that as he filled in for CMC doing a similar kind of role last year, and he filled in competently. I think they brought him in specifically to replace Aaron Jones. I have him in both my leagues.
And I have Aaron Jones in both my leagues, so after that first game, I'm feeling a little like, oh
no, James is like 8 for 10 on predictions here. He's predicting the downfall of my player in favor of his player. But I think that's literally what's happening there.
Just a matter of time.
You can fire up Mason in your flex and feel okay about that if you need him as your third guy there. Bill.
Yeah.
Same shit. Fire him up. Look, he looked good in preseason. He looked good in the NFL at full speed. He played against, who did Washington play? They played the...
I didn't watch it. I don't know.
I think it was the Giants. Yeah, it was the Giants. And that pass rush should have been like super deadly and terrible, and they have Abdul Carter now and blah, blah, blah. And I think he still just like ran him over. Like, Bill just looked really good. He might be this year's Bucky, and if you have him, you're laughing. He scored a touchdown, 14 points. Fire him up out of a cannon. I'm on the Bill train. If I could trade for him in a sensible way, I would. Everyone's going to overvalue him.
Well, I overpaid for him, so...
Yes, you did. I would have taken him
get him from me, you're going to have to really pay for it.
Load up Ricky Pearsall again.
Ricky Pearsall, right, which you already touched on.
And last but not least, and I hate to recommend Jets players after that crazy brawl with Pittsburgh, but probably the best game of the week, honestly. Maybe the Ravens-Bills.
Yeah, the Ravens-Bills was pretty exciting, yeah.
But Garrett Wilson. Okay, Justin Fields can throw the ball. He absolutely can create space for his receivers with his legs by moving the play away from, like bringing the safeties in to prevent that run. And Garrett Wilson, if you guys watch that touchdown, Fields just laced him a ball. He straight up outran, I think it was Ramsey, and no coverage whatsoever, straight in the end zone. I mean, if they can do that once a week, you're going to get your 15 points out of Wilson and feel good about it. And the Jets have already talked about they want to run. Yeah, but if they do that every single play, it doesn't work. They have to throw it once in a while. That's going to be the only guy catching balls in New York. And Fields looked like he was ready to ball out this year. So fire up Wilson and feel good about it.
Yeah, he had a great week. I think 30 points or something like that.
Yeah,
so.
29 point. Fucking, it's crazy. So who are we sitting?
Who are we sitting?
Who do you think?
Well, I want to hear it. You're probably going to put MHJ on the list.
Nope.
No?
No. MHJ's, let them cook. They have a pretty easy matchup this week. You sit DJ Moore.
Oh, no. I have DJ Moore on one of my teams.
So he's losing his job to Rome Odunze. Odunze dominated in snaps. Again, younger, more offensive upside. Drafted the first round with Caleb specifically to create that connection. Starting in year 2, it looks like the new offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, is going to be using him in that capacity. If I had to start DJ Moore or Odunze, I'm starting Odunze 100% of the weeks going forward until I see something otherwise.
You should see the rest of my team. I don't know if I can sit them.
You can't sit everyone, so good luck to you, Huff. You want to sit Isaac Teslaw. If you don't know who that is, you're not playing fantasy football. If you do know, if you know, it's still too early to play him. The Lions looked a little lost in that first game. Dan Campbell's gone on record saying they want to use him more. He caught that one garbage time touchdown. He looked really good in preseason. And there was a lot of hype coming in, like, are they going to use him, are they not? He's technically battling for the wide receiver 2 slot against Jameson Williams. But no, I think you sit Teslaw for now. I think you stash him. If you can pick him up, you should pick him up immediately. Because I think by the time the Lions find their feet, they're going to want that option.
I'll be right back and just got to check our waiver wire.
I got it. I make these moves first, then I tell you why.
Yeah.
But no, I think you fast forward a month, maybe 2 months, right? Get an injury to someone like Amon-Ra St. Brown, suddenly this guy ends up being the wide receiver 1. He just dominates based on talent and grit and like go get it. I like him. Sit him this week though. If you have him, don't get too spicy with it. If he goes off, you're still not wrong. You don't have good reason to start him or feel good about it. Okay?
All right, next.
Sit Cam Ward.
Oh, yeah.
First overall draft pick, I think he looks competent. I think he looks poised. I think he looks like he has great football IQ. I think the Tennessee Titans are a mess of a team. I think he scored 2 fantasy points. And despite the fact that he's got a good connection with Ridley and they have some things that are positive as like build-arounds there, you can't play him and feel good about that. If you're playing that as your streamer QB, go get somebody else. Go get Aaron Rodgers. Shit. Go get Aaron Rodgers immediately if that's the guy you picked up, hoping that that's going to be your solution.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to need some time for that team to like wheel itself around. They need probably another full year of draft picks or blockbuster trades for draft picks to make that work. He looked great. I don't think he's playable from a fantasy perspective. But if I'm a Titans fan, I feel really good about the next 5 years with that boy.
Mm-hmm. If you have him in a dynasty league forever, like
all right,
keep him stashed.
Who else do you sit? You sit Daniel Jones.
Oh, yeah.
That's a false flag. Daniel Jones came in and beat up on the shittiest team in the entire NFL. F- effort from the Miami Dolphins in every capacity. They traded away their best defensive player in Jalen Ramsey.
So you're not expecting there to be a repeat?
Daniel Jones is going up against Denver this week, and if you think he's putting up 30 points, I got a bridge to sell you. There's absolutely no way he's going to repeat that effort, and if he does, I'll eat my hat. I would not feel good about starting him. I would feel like a complete ding-dong, and I don't want you to feel that way. So that's what I'm telling you. Daniel Jones, it was cool to see. I'm glad he's not a complete disaster because he seemed like a nice guy. He's a hard-nosed kind of quarterback, and I like parts of his game. I don't feel like he's surviving the Denver experience. The Broncos are going to eat that man alive. Do not start him thinking this is a solution for anything. And then lastly, I'm going right back to pick on the Lions again because they looked really bad against Green Bay. Jameson Williams. I don't see how you play that guy and truly expect him to get food in an offense that can't even feed their superstar Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I do have him on one of my teams, and it was terrible. I think I had him in my flex last week, and he got me like 5 points.
Teslaw is
maybe not even
more talented than him in some capacities.
Yeah.
And there's not enough ball to go around for Amon-Ra St. Brown who got like 6 points. Mm-hmm. That team looks like a offensive identity nightmare after losing Ben Johnson.
Last week, all those high drafted wide receivers, none of them ate. Like the top 10 drafts, it was all...
Which?
Like, I just mean like your whole list of wide receivers, like the top wide receivers in the league.
Yeah.
None of them ate last week.
Oh,
like, Amon-Ra, CD,
they all just got shut
Jefferson.
down.
Heck, Jefferson, he actually did okay on Monday.
Okay, yeah.
But, like Chase, obviously, like they all had, Mike Evans, they just all had like rough weeks.
Yeah.
So, but in the Lions case, Williams didn't eat because of that.
Yeah.
Nobody did over there.
I mean, Goff looked okay. I just feel like the play calling was a mess and they're transitioning to a new style offense. They haven't magically lost talent, but you have to understand what a modifier Ben Johnson was to that offense. And now that they have Dan Campbell just calling like, you know, it's 4th and 11, let's run the ball. Like
every time.
Brother, like this is a mess. So yeah, I don't believe you start Amon Ra because you didn't draft him to sit him. Mm-hmm. But you're feeling like sketchy about it, but you certainly don't start like the rest of them.
Yeah.
I don't see it yet.
Anybody want to make a trade?
Yeah. So wrap it up. You're of the 2 leagues you're playing. One's a dynasty league. One's a redraft.
Yes.
Who was your most surprising, most impressive player? Who did you look at and went, wow, I'm so glad I got that dude. What a crazy effort.
So in our regular league, we actually have a QB flex spot.
Yep.
Right. So or a super flex, which you can play
it's
a
a 2 QB
in.
league.
Yes.
Yep.
So you're silly not to play your 2 QBs. So I drafted quarterbacks first and early when we did that. And I was lucky enough to pick up Lamar with my first pick and Mahomes with my second pick.
Right,
and they both just cooked.
Lamar, you got your value.
So I got loads of points.
Mahomes actually
crushed that team like 147 to 110 or something that week, like my matchup.
Yep.
In the Dynasty League, and I have Bill on my bench in that league.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely be moving some things around. And then in my Dynasty League, it was a little bit closer. I think I was 125 to 110 or something like that in that matchup. But I still had good success. I had MHJ on both teams, so he performed pretty steady Eddie for me. Ashton Janty was a little bit on the low side, which you kind of expect, rookie first debut game. So I think he got raked in about 11 or 12 points for me, something like that. But I'm really excited to see what
I think if you're 2 teams, Mahomes is the right call because he really looked solid. Mm-hmm. And this is a guy who truly hates Patrick Mahomes, but watching him play, he looked like he was like a little Josh Allen energy there. He was willing his team to like get it together and win.
Yeah, taking hits and stuff too, rushing the ball. Or, I
could see Mahomes being your guy. For me, it was Ibuka.
Yeah,
I ran Emeka Ibuka in both my teams, going, this guy is probably like the most like NFL ready receiver, and he goes for 2 touchdowns. And yet, I don't know if you saw the story yesterday, but apparently he's in the huddle, last play of the game with Mike Evans. And he goes to Mike and he's like, I'm going to run like a post route, and if I run the post route, I'm going to catch it, I'm going to end the game right here. He's telling this to the 10, 11-year, 1,000-yard a year. I'm like, so he runs the route, so they hit him in the end zone, and he's like, just ice cold. Like, just ice cold.
Stone cold
This
killer.
guy might be a league winner.
But we both went 2-0 last week.
We did, so we're feeling pretty good.
The Berzatto family here is out at 4-0.
Yep.
So,
and hopefully some of these suggestions help you with your fantasy teams, unless you're playing us, in which case don't watch this.
I'm gonna be busy making some trades.
Yeah, your whole team basically.
No.
Draft a bunch of old guys and trade them off.
That's not true. Anyway, thank you for watching if you made it this far. If you're new here, please consider liking and subscribing. We will be bringing back this little episode every week.
During the fantasy season, why not?
Yeah.
Unless if I go 0-10 and everything I say is wrong, I'm just going to pack it up. But as long as I'm still like hitting the ball off the tee here, as long as the ball's going off the tee and we're finding fairway, we're going to keep doing this, okay?
Anyway, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again.